Good morning, y'all. What's going on today? We're going to talk about a bunch of different altcoins today, just because, we've really just been really talking about mostly, for the most part. Actually, let me hold on. Let me pop out my chat real quick. I forgot to do that this morning because you know what? I was late today. I was late. I told you guys 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, and it's 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I had to take my daily walk. I had to take my daily walk, guys. My day is not the same unless I take my daily morning walk, which I do every single morning, and it's really refreshing and helps you kind of rejuvenate the mind today. So hope you guys are having a fantastic day so far. Obviously, it's a new day, kind of a new day today. So we'll see how today goes. Bitcoin kind of struggling today. We're not going to spend too much time on Bitcoin this morning because not a lot has really changed. We had a little bit of a dip, but nothing has really changed since yesterday. So we're going to spend most of the Bitcoin stuff, or save most of the Bitcoin stuff for later on this morning. What's going on? Yeah, no music. I am going to be doing some editing to the stream today. So you guys should, if everything works correctly, should see a little bit of a difference of the stream for tonight's stream if everything works. So let's jump on into it right now. Crypto Savvy saying Bitcoin might go to 16K, even more worst case scenario, 300K, $300? $300? I don't even think it's possible for Bitcoin to hit $300. But anyways, we're not going to talk about any of that stuff today. Bitcoin had a quick dip yesterday, right? We know we broke on downwards from this falling wedge, right? And what did we do? Well, we came back down, tested this green box as support, dipped down below that, and we did what we didn't want to do, right? We dipped back below the green box as support, came back up, hit it as new resistance, and if we were to repeat what we normally do in that instance, we should be coming back down to retest 32,400. Now, we talked about how that's certainly a possibility for Bitcoin. It's not what I wanted to see necessarily, but I think as long as we do that today and we get a nice pump back up to the upside before the daily close today, I think everything's going to be all good. Now, if you look at our 4-hour time frame chart, I'm still seeing the possible scenario of this rising channel playing out, right? Where it is a bearish continuation pattern, right? Where we're coming from the downside and we have this rising channel. And then normally you would break this to the downside and it's a continuation pattern, right? So we'll see if that continues to play out, right? These are just probabilities, right? It's not 100% that we break to the downside out of these patterns, but you do have a higher probability of breaking these to the downside. So just keep that in mind. Now, if we go to the daily chart real quick, like I said, not going to spend too much time on this. I do want to hold this green box as support. We talked about this yesterday, right? It was our support, flipped into new resistance. Now we got back above it, confirmed it as support. If we break down below this on a daily close, right, it doesn't count if it's a wick. We've wicked below it before, right? We wicked below it right here, and then we closed above it, wicked below it right here, wicked below it right here. But every time we eventually closed back above it. So that's like I said today, guys. Even if we have a quick wick down today, as long as we close back up here in this green box, I think everything is a-okay for BTC. But like I said, gonna talk about most of the stuff tonight, all right? Because I don't want to over conjubulate, if that's even a word, our Bitcoin analysis here. But it looks like we broke down below the support too. Like I said, as long as we close back above this buy tonight, I think we'll be fine. We got a long day ahead of us. We know a lot can change in the Bitcoin space in whatever it is, 8 hours, right? So, or 9 hours, I should say, if I could do my math. But like I said, we'll go over this tonight. All right, so let's talk about some altcoins today. Let's talk about some altcoins today. All righty, let's do it. What is Ethereum doing at the moment? So I'm gonna go through it like Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, and then I'll kind of take it from the chat. I'll go through the chat today. Whatever you guys want to talk about, I'll talk about today. Gotta switch it up a little bit because honestly, talking about Bitcoin every single day, sometimes twice a day, can get a little monotonous, right? So I think that was what was going on with me yesterday. We were just looking at Bitcoin so much. There really wasn't much to talk about, and yeah, that kind of can lead to some bad stuff. But anyways, Ethereum here, we broke, obviously we know we broke this downwards resistance, but what have we done since then, right? Well, we came up and retested this red box of resistance, right? Which is a pretty big level, right? It was our previous support, right? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. We broke down below it, and now it's still our support. Now it's our resistance, right? So we flipped our old support into new resistance, right? Old support into new resistance. Shout out to you guys who watched my old video the other day on that stream that we did. But and we came back down and retested that previous resistance coming down, and we confirmed it as new support. But what are we doing now, right? We're not getting that catapult, which we like to see when we come back down, retest that old resistance, and you continue to stay up, right? So we're coming back down to retest it again, which I don't like to do. Because you guys know the more times you test a support, right? The more times you test a support and more times you test a resistance, you have a tendency to break it. So if we come back down and retest this as support, and you have this green box also that you're trying to confirm as support, which is fine, right? If you actually break this downwards resistance coming down, as long as you hold this green box, I think you'll be fine, right? Because what is this green box? Well, it's your previous resistance. And if you can flip that as support, well, there you go. You have a bullish support or resistance into support flip. So that is fine, right? As long as we come back down a little bit with BTC, wick down here, get it closed, somewhere up here with BTC, I think Ethereum looks fine in all essence, right? Now, why did we drop yesterday? A lot of people are saying, Jordan, why did Ethereum drop? Ethereum was looking so bullish. Well, if we zoom in a little bit here, you did have higher high. Yeah, I have pink today, guys. I felt like switching the color up, right? We've been doing yellow, then we switched to teal. So I said, hey, let's throw some pink on there for the ladies, all right? Let's throw some pink on there for the ladies. But we did have higher highs in price action, and we did have lower highs on the RSI. So we did have bearish divergence there, which did push us down to the downside. Now, will that continue? Well, if it's an hourly bearish divergence, usually not that big of an indicator. But when it's a 4-hour, it tends to actually push you down a good bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we did come back down to test around the $2,000 range. $2,000 range for BTC. Yeah, Jazz, go watch my first Cardano video that I ever did. I think that's the funniest one. I went back and watched like 4 of my old videos the other day, and I think that one was the funniest one. But it is funny to see where we've actually come in crypto. Watching that video, I mean, Cardano was 2 cents at the time, and it's crazy where we come since then. But it's crazy how much different I looked a year ago. And it's really crazy. That was absolutely hilarious. I had a good time watching that with you guys the other day. But anyway, that's what we're kind of looking at on the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum. We switched to the daily time frame. It's just a similar type of thing, right? I mean, not much is different. The only thing we can really bring up on this is to actually just clear this out and we bring up our moving averages. The one thing I did want to bring up on this is we're still sitting above our 200-day moving average for Ethereum, right? We know we dropped down below it for literally like a day, right? And then popped right back above it. So as long as we just stay above that, I'm pretty bullish. Now, I did want to bring up a time that where Cardano has broken below all its where Ethereum has broken below all its moving averages in the past, and still ended up continuing up. Now, if we go all the way back, right? Let's go all the way back here for Ethereum. Let's go all the way back to 2015, 2016, or 2016, I should say. Where were we here? Where were we? Right here. Right in the middle of the bull market of last bull market, right? The 2016, 2017 bull market. You can see down here in December of 2016, we did drop below all these moving averages at the end of 2016 and the beginning of 2017, right? And then what did we do after that? Well, everyone was probably super bearish right here, right? I wasn't in the crypto space in 2016, so I don't know what the sentiment was here, but everyone was probably super bearish here as Ethereum was just kind of continuing down. We had a big sell-off, right? And then we got back above all these moving averages. And you can see what happened from there, right? And this is this kind of scenario where I'm looking at with Bitcoin, just a mid-market, almost mini bear market inside of a bigger bull market. That's what I believe we're in right now. And it's okay, right, based off history, for Ethereum to drop below all these moving averages, just like we did in the past. Now, does this mean we can't drop below it again? We definitely could. And I think if anything, it's pretty 50-50 right now. And I know a lot of people don't want to listen to, sometimes the realism, but it is pretty 50-50 right now, whether a lot of these altcoins can continue lower or just pop up for where they are right now. I know everyone was super bullish on Bitcoin just the other day. Really just like 2 days ago, everyone is talking about, Bitcoin retesting 40K, including myself, right? It looked really good. But unfortunately, right, we've now broken back below some pretty important supports. And we did talk about, even though we were so bullish the other day when we broke this resistance, we talked about if we did come back down and we couldn't hold it as support, well, it's likely that we came back down and retested the bottom of this wedge. Now, like I said, we have to wait for that daily close tonight. We have to wait for the daily close. That's what's really important tonight. But we got to stay a little bit realistic here and realize that, lower prices are definitely possible here for some of these coins. So just to look at this, I think, a move, if Bitcoin starts dumping again, I think a move back down to 1,700 for Ethereum would make the most sense. That's where we came back down to once and twice here in the past. So I did want to spend a good amount of time on just talking about some of the shorter term time frame stuff for Ethereum in that sense today, right? But your old video, I saw Cardano was 135. Refer your video when it was 3 cents. Cardano was at 135 before your video when it was 3 cents. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. The alts do the same thing every week. Early pump followed by a slow bleed the rest of the week. Yeah. I mean, it is that type of thing. All right, let's switch to Cardano, right? I don't want to spend too much time with my wife, even though I already do spend a lot of time with my wife. I spend a good amount of time with my wife. She likes it. But anyways, let's go talk about Neil's wife. I know Neil probably wants us talking about his wife and talking about how really, really good that and really juicy that Neil's wife looks. Let's look. Even in the morning, Neil's wife looks pretty good. Even when she's not wearing any makeup and she's kind of going down too. Cardano, what are we doing here? Well, Cardano looks pretty similar to Ethereum in a sense, right? Where on the 4-hour time frame, we really just broke this downwards resistance, right? If you just look at this from more of a macro sense, we broke this downwards resistance. We came back down, tested it, got a nice impulse right off of that, but just couldn't get the buy pressure to really get back over this big red resistance, right? And that's really the level we're waiting for Cardano to break, right? That's kind of the swing level, right? Previous support, once, twice, 3 times, really 4 times, and then you now flipped it as resistance once, twice, 3 times. Now, the one thing I am noting here with Cardano, and it's not as similar with a lot of these other coins, is if you actually look at this, Cardano is really making some sort of big ascending triangle where it's making higher lows, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 higher lows and getting rejected at the same point on the top side. So you have a really, really nice ascending triangle forming here for Cardano. It's almost beautiful. Now, if this was to break up to the upside in a normal bullish scenario or just normal market conditions other than these altcoins just following Bitcoin to a T, you probably would see a move up to about 172 here for Cardano. Like I said, in normal conditions. Right now, we're not in normal conditions. We're in altcoins just following BTC, right? All right. I need to... Oh, we're back to the Speedway coffee today, guys. We're back to the Speedway coffee. Like I said, I was trying to quit coffee, but, sometimes you go to the store and it's really just calling your name. Or you go get some gas, right? You go in to get a snack, and it's just really calling your name. And that's what happened today. I saw that fresh... I saw someone else really pumping that fresh coffee. The aroma just you guys know like their cartoons where like the cloud or the aroma just goes right into their face and it just hits them. That's what happened today with me and my coffee today. John, what's going on, man? He said, Jordy, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your wife went down on me this morning. What? I'm gonna start crying on stream. Also, how low you think BTC is going today? We'll take a look at it in a second. Let me finish up with Cardano, and we'll go back to BTC real quick. But I can't believe that my wife would do that to me. Now I haven't been the most faithful to my wife, so I cannot really. Maybe she found out that I finally wasn't being faithful to her. So I don't blame her. I don't blame her one bit. Anyways, though, we'll go at BTC in a second. All right, man. Higher lows, right? Cardano looks like a nice ascending triangle. It looks like sellers are getting exhausted on Cardano. But as we know, right, this really depends on BTC. Now, we're seeing BTC fall today. If you look at BTC on the hourly, we're seeing BTC kind of fall today, but Cardano is actually moving up to the upside, which is very, 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 very weird, right? We've seen this in the past from Cardano, but it's not really following big BTC at the moment. So we'll see what Cardano does. If we switch to the daily, let's just clear this out real quick and let's look at some of our moving averages here. You can see, I mean, like I said, like Cardano is just extremely bullish. We wicked right down to that 200 moving average and just got massive buy pressure there. And Cardano is just so far ahead of the curve. We've seen a lot of these other altcoins just smash through the 200-day moving averages, like there were Butter. Cardano, on the other hand, we wicked down to it, and it wasn't even a test, right? We hit it, and boom, we just went right back up. So that's why I always say Cardano is like a freaking rock, and it's every time it drops even close to $1, it just gets bought right back up. Now we are getting some resistance here on our 50. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 50. This one's our 100 actually. So our 100-day moving average is giving us some resistance. Now you can see the 100-day moving average for Cardano is extremely important, right? Support, support. Came back down, flipped it as resistance right here, and now it's kind of our resistance again. So that 100-day moving average for Cardano is giving us a little bit of annoyance right now, but like I said, that 100-day moving average is correlated to that ascending triangle resistance that we're in. So we break above this 200-day moving average, I expect a pretty quick move up, maybe to test our 50-day moving average, which is like 157, and then hit that next target, which was, I think was what, 172 that I said. So that's really Cardano. Cardano looking really good. But I want to move on here so we don't talk too much about other coins and not my wife. She went down on me too. Might need to get that wife in check. It's okay. It's okay. Like I said, I haven't been faithful. I haven't been faithful to Ethereum. So I've been talking about, you guys know I've been talking about Bitcoin a lot. So she probably found out, and she had to find out one way or another. So I guess at least this kind of frees us. I mean, now we can be in an open relationship. We can kind of mess with, whoever we want to mess with, which is good. Maybe I can finally diversify more into Matic, and I can have more than, 5 side chicks, right? Bitcoin, Cardano, Chainlink, VeChain, Theta. Maybe I can start diversifying now, right? Because now I don't have to be so careful about who I mess with. So that's one way to look about it, right? Binance Coin. Let's look at Binance Coin real quick. So not many people ask about BNB, right? For Binance Coin being the third biggest coin, no one ever really asks for BNB. No one really ever talks about BNB. It's really weird. It's really weird. But anyways, it's like Binance Coin. No one talks about Binance Coin, even though it's a large market cap, and no one really ever talks about Polkadot. And even Uniswap. No one really ever talks about those 3 coins in the top 10. It's really, really weird. But anyways, Binance Coin, I mean, we just have a big resistance coming down here. So if you look at this more from the macro view real quick. Actually, let's start with the daily on Binance Coin. I think that's a good place to start here. We look at this. I mean, you've tested this same support. It's very similar to Cardano, right? Where every time it comes back down to like the low 200s, it gets bought up like a freaking whale sucking up some little fish in the morning. Chose the wrong wife. Damn, Jazz, I didn't know you went like that. I didn't know you went like that. John, maybe you should be a thruple with Jazz. A thruple. I never heard that term, thruple. Anyways, I mean, every time we get down to those low $200 levels for BNB, it gets bottomed up, right? I mean, it's been support here, support here, support here, but it seems like the buy pressure every time we go down there just seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now the bounces every time we hit that, so the buy pressure gets bigger, but the bounces every time we hit this level get smaller, right? This time we bounced pretty high. This time we bounced here, and this time we bounced here. So it does seem like we're in a descending triangle, right? When you get the same lows, but you get lower highs, it is a descending triangle. Now, this one doesn't have a perfect trend line, but I mean, it just has that sense, right? I mean, you're getting higher highs every time you hit this trend line. Now, this one might not be over, so I guess we can't really confirm it yet, but it does have that descending triangle look on more of the daily time frame, which usually is a bearish pattern and would push you down. So keep that in mind. But a lot of altcoins are in bearish patterns in the longer term time frames. But like we always say, right? Just like they can be in a bullish pattern on the shorter term time frames, if Bitcoin decides to dump, that bullish pattern is going to get completely nullified. And it's the same thing with the longer term time frame bearish patterns. If Bitcoin decides to wake up and pump to 60K in the next couple weeks, the altcoins are going to say, to really any almost bearish pattern, right? So keep an eye on that. Now, if we switch back over to the, actually real quick, the 20-day exponential moving average, that's the level that I'm looking at for BNB, right? Resistance, resistance. This time we got a little bit over it, but I mean, generally it's resistance. So even resistance up here. So it was your previous support, really on this whole run up. I mean, you can see here, I mean, ever since down here, you got general support on that 20-day exponential moving average, and then now it flipped as your resistance. So that's the level that I'm kind of watching for to get back over. Right now, it's currently sitting at about like 315. So if we can get back over 315 for BNB, I think you'll be pretty good. Now, switching to the 4-hour, you do have the same type of thing that we're kind of looking at with Cardano, right? Where you're getting higher lows, and you're getting resistance at the same point on the top side. So you do almost have that ascending triangle-like pattern playing out too. Now, we need to break this downwards resistance, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 touches on this downwards resistance. You got to break this teal line coming down, but you can see this almost pink line coming up and horizontal line coming across. But yeah, I mean, ascending triangle pattern also bullish to the upside. If this was to play out, like I said, watch BTC with some of these patterns, right? They can look bullish as heck, but if Bitcoin, takes a giant poop on the market, I would say the S word, but I think YouTube will come after me. 370 is your breakout target for BNB if you do continue up. Ben Cowan is so bearish. What do you think? I understand why you can be bearish. Like, we've talked about it verbatim, how the daily time frame, right, in a nutshell, I would probably say the weekly time frame in a nutshell, still looks bearish, at least for the next couple weeks, right? We'll go over a lot of that stuff on tonight's stream, because I did want to touch on tonight's stream, if Bitcoin is really not doing anything, I do want to do another kind of a long-term stream or look at a couple longer-term patterns. But keep that in mind. The next couple weeks do look a little bearish, but that bottom is coming sooner than we think. We're going to talk about in the tonight stream, but this morning's stream is more about altcoins. So keep that in mind, guys, okay? Keep that in mind. I want to save. I was kind of getting, to be honest, I was kind of getting burnt out on talking about BTC, 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 BTC. So, maybe in the morning streams, we'll talk more altcoins, and then we'll keep the night streams for more BTC talk. So keep that in mind, okay? But anyways, yeah, that's Binance Coin. That's Binance Coin, That's Binance Coin in a nutshell. So we'll watch that. If you break down again, probably look to retest 224. The 224 seems to be that level that we're really waiting for here. George called you Jason on a stream last night. Go on Cryptos R Us. We are George. I want to go on George's stream. I want to go on George's stream. Unfortunately, I got ghosted. But no, I love George. I still watch his stream every single day, even though he ghosted me. It's okay though. It's okay, right? I don't get butthurt over that stuff. Like I said, if I was like some, I mean, I wouldn't really call me big just yet, but we're getting there. But if I was some big, you know, what I mean big is someone that has, you know, 3, 4, 500K subs. I mean, I would probably be pretty selective on who I wanted on my stream too. So I totally understand. I totally understand where he's coming from. Like, that's the same kind of thing with me maybe not wanting someone that has, you know, 1,000 subscribers on his channel, because you don't really know what he's about. So I totally understand it. Totally understand it. Let's go over some other alts though, shall we? All right, guys, I'm going to open it up to you guys. What alts, what alts, what alts? No, he said he invited you and you backed out. He invited, I'm not going to go over it. I've told you guys a story on me and George. I'm not going to go over it again though. I'm not going to go over it again. He asked me an hour before his stream, and I had plans, right? I had plans, and, you know, I'm not going to change my plans because someone asked me an hour before the stream, right? You guys don't know the full story on that, man. Go watch yesterday's stream. I explained what happened. Anyways, I didn't back out. I didn't back out anything. We didn't have any plans on me being on his stream, right? We had no plans at all. No plans at all. Anyways, let's go. Actually, let me do some of these super chats and then we will go through some of these altcoins. Okay. Let's see. What do we have here? We got, Jordy, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but your wife went down on me this morning. Also, how low do you think Bitcoin is going today? Just a quick update on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin could go as low as 32,400 today. 32,400. So that is kind of the next level you want to go to, right? So that's the next level you had to go to. 32,400. But like I said, we're going to save most of the Bitcoin talk for tonight's stream because, like I said, I don't want to get burnt out and just talking about Bitcoin twice a day. It does get a little monotonous. So just keep that in mind. All right. So that is BTC. But I welcome you guys to use my wife. If you guys want to use my wife, you know, don't treat her nicely, right? Be respectful. Don't treat her like a rag doll. I know she likes to go down a lot, at least in the last couple of months, but usually she doesn't like to go down, right? Usually she's very respectful. She doesn't like to go down. Right now, obviously she's been going down in price, so, but just be respectful towards my wife. If you guys want to buy some of my wife, go ahead, right? I always think buying some Ethereum is always a good move, especially for the long term, but make sure you guys are being respectful and don't panic sell my wife, okay? Do not panic sell my wife. Let's see. Rodney said, BTC, what I learned in 2 weeks from Jordan. Don't get excited. It is still trading between three. Wait, what? Hold on. What does this even mean? Don't get too excited. It is still trading between 335 and 355. First retest of 335 is this morning. Don't interpret the chart that you want it to be. Yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day for BTC, I mean, until you break this red box or this green box, right? Until we really break 28,000 or we break, 43,000, we're just kind of stuck in that range, right? We're just going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. So we can't get too excited. As much as it's fun to get excited, and I will continue. If Bitcoin has an $1,000 pump, a $2,000 pump, you're gonna have the people that come in the chat and say, "Oh, you're getting pumped over $1,000 pump." It's fun to get excited. What's life without positivity, right? So, but in reality, you're right. Until Bitcoin breaks out of that range, nothing was really changed. But it is fun to get excited here and there, right? And I like getting excited, and I'm going to continue to get excited, because what is life if you're not positive, right? I mean, what's life without being positive? I mean, living life as a negative Nancy is not fun, in my opinion. It's not fun, and I'm going to keep doing it. This guy wrote Cosmos 10 times. Let's see. Guys, let's be respectful towards George, all right? Let's be respectful towards George. George is an awesome guy, and I totally understand his decision to not have me on his channel again. I totally understand. Like I said, I would do the same. I'm not going to say I would do the same thing, but if I had a big channel like his, I would be very selective on who I had on my channel and things of that nature, right? I do the same thing, right? I mean, do you guys see me having people with lower subs on my channel? Absolutely not, right? But let's keep the chat respectful, right? I always try to keep my chat respectful, even though I know sometimes I'm not the most respectful person in the world. I like to poke jokes at people, right? I'm not, when I poke jokes at people, I'm not always serious. A lot of people don't, like I always said, I'm a very sarcastic person, and it takes a lot to actually understand my sarcasm. Let's see, but just keep the chat respectful, okay? Like I said, bears and bulls, we're all friends. We're all friends here. Whether you're a bear, whether you're a bull, whether you're a freaking rock down the street, right? Whether you're a Shiba Inu owner, right? Whether you're a Shiba Inu owner, excuse me, we're all friends here. We're all friends here at the end of the day. Art Vandalay said, "Hey Chris, I have a question. If we're supposed to be buying when it's red, why do people sell alts when BTC is dumping?" Hi Chris, I have a question. If we're supposed to be buying when it's red, why do people sell alts when BTC is pumping? It racks my brain. Why do people sell alts when BTC is dumping? Because it causes uncertainty in the market. So and it's all wrapped around the pairs, right? It's all wrapped around the pairs. Now that you have altcoin and tether pairs, and now that you have altcoin and BTC pairs, that's why they follow BTC, right? Back in the day, back in like 2017, you really didn't see the correlation, right? That's why in 2017 you saw like BTC have its big pump, and then BTC started to pull back, and then you saw the altcoins go. That's why you kind of see this correlation now, with now that you didn't see in the past, right? Is because you have all these pairs, so you have all these algorithms and these bots trading off these pairs. So I mean, the correlation is going to stick. The correlation is going to stick, unfortunately. Now, do I think that'll change at some point? Maybe when you start seeing, maybe a different coin maybe finally break Bitcoin's market cap. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, but I think Ethereum is the only coin that I can really see breaking Bitcoin's market cap. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. I think that's years down the road. But maybe we start to see a decoupling when that happens, right? Ben Cowan is so bearish. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I totally understand why you can be bearish in the market right now. And I totally understand why you can be bullish in the market right now. You can make an argument for both stances, right? But you do have to admit, when you do look at the weekly chart from a zoom, or even the daily chart from a zoomed out perspective like this, right? If you just looked at it like this and you didn't look at any further price action, the chart looks bearish, right? Let's be honest. The chart does look bearish. We cannot argue that. So Bitcoin's actually dumping as we speak right now. I think, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised right now if Bitcoin dumped to 32,430, right? Watch for that to happen here. Creighton said, "It's summer and a holiday. Low volume trading days. Big money is in the Hamptons. Dollar is up because that's where they put their dry powder. Big money will be back before Q3 ends. Fundamentals are good. People need to chill." Yeah, I mean, the fundamentals haven't been better, man. The fundamentals... the fundamentals haven't been freaking better, dude. We have freaking countries adopting BTC. We have countries adopting BTC. Imagine during the bear market, people were talking about, you know, countries adopting Bitcoin. You would have never heard that crap, right? And now all of a sudden, just think like even a year ago, if you told us that you would have countries adopting Bitcoin as legal tender, people would have laughed at you. You would have all the trolls in the chat saying, this guy has no idea what he's talking about with the laughing emojis. You guys know every single time you get the laughing emojis because the trolls always have to add the laughing emojis after their troll. You ever notice the trolls? They always say their sentence, but they always have to add 3 to 5 emojis after their sentence to make themselves either seem smart or their comment be funnier than it actually is. So true. But if you look at that from the sense, you know, people would have laughed at you a year ago if you thought, you know, you would have legal tender. It would be hilarious. But now, look where we are now. We got countries adopting Bitcoin, big institutions adopting Bitcoin. This is just a start, guys. This is just a start. Long term, nothing. Long term, Bitcoin looks bullish than it really ever has. You can't argue that the fundamentals right now are the most bullish that Bitcoin has ever had. Now, I understand the China FUD. I understand all the FUD, but you got to look at the bullish fundamentals too. And I've never been more bullish long term on Bitcoin than I am right now. Now, the short term, like I said, short term price action is all just noise. We really have no idea where it's going, right? Thank you, GBA's Kid World. That's a super nice message, man. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Let's get back into some altcoins stuff. We've kind of been blabbering here about the long-term fundamentals for Bitcoin. The charts are just coasting. Exactly. Let's see. All right. What altcoins you guys want to do? Let's do a poll. I'll do the top altcoins here. So I'll do the top 2 alts that get the top 2 votes here. What alts should we talk about next? Let's do Chainlink. Let's do VeChain. Let's do XRP, and let's do. I'm not gonna do Dogecoin just because Dogecoin, like I always said, has a mind of its own. It doesn't really respect the charts. We'll do Matic, and I'll do more too. Don't go. This is just the first round, guys. So you got vote on which one we'll do. I'll do the top 2 vote getters for this one, and then I'll do another poll, and we can kind of go from there, right? But yeah, man. I mean, in the meantime, we can kind of look at it. Compound had a big day today. XFin, Maker, some pretty good alt gains today. Losers, there's a couple, right? UMA, Waves, Nexo, Quants, Ethereum Classic, CeeLo. It is what it is. Looking pretty good. He didn't add ADA. We already did Harris. We already did Cardano, my man. If you rewind the stream, we already did Bitcoin, Cardano, and Ethereum. So that's why I didn't add. That's why I didn't add that in there. All right. So it seems like just to start, seems like majority of people actually want. Wow, this vote is actually going pretty good. Majority of people want Matic, so we'll go with Matic here, and then you guys can keep voting, and I'll do the next one there. So majority of the people want Matic. So on the daily time frame, I mean, I'm really just still watching this big symmetrical triangle. I mean, you can see how this continues to play out pretty nicely here. We obviously have a pretty clear downwards resistance and a pretty clear support, right? We got 3 touches on both sides. Now we're just waiting for that breakout. Now, like I'll always continue to say, a lot of these breakouts are going to depend on what BTC does. But I mean, if you look at this, actually not really. I'm going to say you might have some bullish divergence, but you don't. It's really what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the breakout of the symmetrical triangle. Upside target is Hold on, let me come back down a little bit here. Upside target's about 326 on Matic, and downwards target. I don't like doing measure move downwards targets because they don't really work, because it's going to give you a pretty big downwards target. But downwards target on this is, I mean, if you just look at this from basic support and resistance, you should have pretty good support at 94 cents. But I'm going to look at a lower one for you guys. Probably look at about 69. Oh man, we're getting dirty in here again. 69 cents as our next kind of target there for Matic, if we do continue down. But I know a lot of people love Matic, and I've been thinking about investing more in Matic, especially with Ethereum getting pretty mad at me now. I might have to invest some more in Matic, and not necessarily get rid of a lot of my Ethereum, but maybe diversify more into Matic. But I've been waiting for a dip. It just hasn't really, the big dip that I've been waiting for really hasn't came. But same thing with all these alts. It looks like, maybe you've already broken that downward support. I mean, you could still hold it, but I was going to say, I mean, you might still be in an ascending triangle, but it looks like you broke it right now, but you could get back into it, right? You could get back into it. I mean, the actual support, something like this, looks like you broke it to the downside, and now you came back up and hit it as resistance. So it looks like you broke this kind of to the downside. So, I mean, a retest of the bottom here would probably make some sense. Maybe we come back down and retest 98 cents. If Matic drops below $1, I will scoop some Matic up if it drops below $1. But I have a feeling it's going to get bought up like a hot cake on a nice summer day, right? Like a White Claw from some chick on the beach buying a White Claw, right? I mean, those things go every time you go to a liquor store, you try to buy a damn pack of White Claws for a group of chicks. I mean, there's never any White Claws in the damn liquor store, ever. You guys ever notice that problem? But yeah, I mean, you got rejected here and it's continuing down. So that's really Matic at the moment. Speaking of White Claws, nah, it's not really a beach day today. Not really a beach day today. But that's really Matic, guys. I mean, everyone wants VeChain now. Everyone wants VeChain. Matic blocked Chico Crypto for asking questions. Interesting. Let's check out VeChain, though. Looks like VeChain's the next one on that list there. VeChain. Once again, shout out to my sponsor, Speedway. I'm back on the Speedway train today. I got that sweet aroma of the... Why did Matic block Chico Crypto? That makes no sense. That makes zero sense. Anyways, last time we looked at VeChain, we were looking at this ascending triangle on VeChain. It looks like this one actually broke to the upside. We didn't quite hit our measure move target, but we see we broke this resistance here. We came back down and retested as support. Now we're trying to hold it as support right now. If we break that as support, probably look for a short-term move back down here for VeChain, back down to about 7.5 cents. What's up, Cass? How about VeChain and DOT? We can definitely look at VeChain right now, so perfect. And then we'll look at DOT coming up next. But yeah, if you break this support, probably look for a move back down to, what did I say? About 7.5 cents on VeChain to retest this upward sloping trend line here on the 4-hour time frame. You were overbought on the 4-hour. That's why you had a little bit of a dip. Makes sense. Maybe just kind of resetting that RSI there. Switching to the daily. Let me clear this out here and just look at the daily time frame. The daily, I mean, you got a clear rejection off that 20-day exponential moving average. You can see you pumped up here, clear rejection, and now you're moving back down. And that's what the problem with a lot of these altcoins are having right now. I mean, you flipped your old support, a moving average that was your critical support really on the way up here, flipped it as resistance, and now it's kind of just been your resistance on this way down. So until you can get back over that, I mean, it might just keep pushing you back down. And that's kind of what we're kind of waiting for VeChain right now. So VeChain looks all right. I mean, if it continues to dip, what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's trying to hold this support. I think that'll break, though. I don't see us holding the support. I think we'll come back down to 32,400. Hopefully, we can pump back up before the daily close today. Like I said, we have a long day ahead of us today. So hopefully, we can continue to look at watch for Bitcoin to have a nice wick on the bottom side in the daily time frame and get back above that critical support we looked at earlier. But we're going to save that for a later stream, right? Today is about altcoins, or the morning about altcoins. That's what I'm going to do starting today. Is the morning streams are going to be more looking at altcoins, and then the night stream is going to be more, our normal Bitcoin analysis, and then obviously looking at altcoins towards the end of the stream. I think that's a better setup. It keeps me from kind of getting burnt out by just looking at Bitcoin charts, because at the end of the day, like I was kind of explaining yesterday, there's really only so much you can really talk about with BTC charts, right? Especially when you stream every single day, sometimes twice a day. You kind of just run out of things to talk about, and it kind of becomes like monotonous at a certain point. So I think that's the best setup, and it's going to keep me from running out of stuff to talk about mostly. So VeChain on the daily. We talk about VeChain on the daily. I mean, probably your support you're looking at here is, just looking at this, I think you could come back down on the daily to retest 6.8 cents if you can't hold your current level. You can see you're trying to hold these daily highs here as support right now. If you break that, though, I think I'll move back down to 6.8 cents. Makes the most sense here for VeChain. But we'll watch VeChain. Daily doesn't look too bad. If you're going to meme, buy the original Doge, not these copycat shills. They will just dump. I agree. I mean, Doge still to me is a meme coin, but the community for Doge is so strong that I can understand investing into Doge now, right? I can understand it because the community is so strong now. Has the community died a little bit? Yes, since this last dump, right? It's obviously not as hyped up as it was before, but I think that as soon as the market starts going back up, you start to see Dogecoin pick up some steam. You're gonna see that community start coming back in waves, right? And then we can start playing this meme again, right? My favorite Dogecoin meme. And then they'll all come out of the woodwork again. I need a Shiba meme. What's a good Shiba meme, guys? What's a good Shiba meme? Baby Doge is pumping. Of course Baby Doge is pumping, man. Of course it is. Why wouldn't Baby Doge be pumping? Doge copycats. All right. What else should we talk about? Let's do Chain. A lot of people wanted Chainlink. Actually, a lot of people wanted XRP. So let's do Chainlink real quick, and then we'll do another set of altcoins, and then we'll kind of jump into. We'll talk about some other altcoins as well. So Chainlink on the daily. Chainlink on the daily is almost textbook. I mean, look at the rejections of this 20-day exponential moving average. This is why, like on the 4-hour time frame, guys, on the on the daily time frame, the 20 exponential moving average just always seems to be the best support resistance as far as moving averages go, at least on the short-term time frames. Even on the weekly, right? Everyone talks about the 20 exponential moving average, and the 20 just seems to be awesome, right? So even on the daily, look at the perfect rejections on the way down here on the daily. Like, you can't ask for more textbook rejections. Now, this one, we didn't come back all the way back up and retest. Why? I mean, because Bitcoin decided to take a dump. But in general, I mean, this isn't holding you down. Until you get back over this on the daily, it's going to keep holding you down. Now, it looks like you actually broke this pretty important resistance at about 1474, and now you broke down below it. Now, if you go to the 4-hour time frame on this guy, let's see. I mean, you're right at support right now. So you want to hold this. You want to hold this uptrend here, where you got a couple touches on it, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. You break this, I wouldn't be surprised if you come back down and retest 474 again, at least here in the short term. If we actually get rid of this trend line and we look at this from more of a zoomed in view, you can see right here, I mean, classic rising wedge almost, right? Classic rising wedge. You can call it a bear flag too if you want. And these usually break down, right? Downwards, you kind of consolidate up, you lose some steam here. And it's likely, these break down to the downside. So a move back down to 1474. probably would make some sense for me for VeChain. Or sorry, for Chainlink. But a lot can change. A lot can change. If Bitcoin, for whatever reason, gets a bounce, you know, somewhere in this range, I don't think it will. I don't see a lot of, I mean, you're at some support, but I don't see that holding, at least right now. We'll see. We'll see what happens. For Link the Slink. Dan said, hey, leave us Shiba Inu investors alone. We are driven for success. Dan, you get that success, right? We don't discriminate here. I poke fun at the Shiba Inuers, right? I just think it's fun, right? I think it's fun to poke fun at the Shiba Inuers. It's just fun, right? We do it in fun. We do it in jokes. But we're all friends here, right? There's a bunch of Shiba Inu fans that actually do watch my stream and do enjoy my stream. And we kind of poke fun of each other on Twitter sometimes. So, like I said, like even if you're a Shiba Inuer and we poke fun, it's all in fun. It's just like I compare it to, like I always compare it to, right? Me being a Pats fan, you know, some of my friends are Lakers fans, right? We poke fun at each other, but at the end of the day, we're still friends, right? It's all in good fun at the end of the day. And we try to have good vibes in here. It's not always good vibes, right? Not always good vibes. We're all human. I understand that, but we're all friends at the end of the day. And we're all community, right? In crypto in general, we're all community. If one coin does good, most likely the other coins are going to do well too. So we want the whole community to be lifted up, because if everyone does well, everyone does well. Like, what's better than everyone doing well? Low said, wait till he gets the tattoo, guys. Hey, if I have to get that Dogecoin tattoo, it's going to be the sexiest Dogecoin tattoo you guys will ever see. You'll ever see. I'm actually, you know what I'll do for the stream tonight? I will look up some Dogecoin tattoos. I'm going to find the sickest one that I can on the internet, and I'm going to show you guys which one I'll get if Bitcoin doesn't hit the all-time high by the end of this year. But I'm still convinced that Bitcoin will hit all-time high by the end of this year. I'm still convinced. All right, let's go to XRP. Let's go to XRP. So XRP, same thing we kind of looked at with crypto is no longer exciting right now. But like I've always said, these are the times where you want to accumulate. When crypto is not exciting, when crypto is boring, when everyone starts leaving the space, right? That's when you want to be accumulating, and you won't understand that until the market starts going back up and you're like, oh crap, I wish I accumulated at lower prices. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. A lot of the people that, you know, you might have saw in the stream, 2 months ago, right? They'll be back when Bitcoin's moving up again, right? And they'll be saying the same thing. I wish I bought more lower. I wish I bought more lower. I wish I bought more lower. The same ones that 2 months ago were saying, if Bitcoin dipped, I'll buy more. And what do they do? Well, they didn't buy more. And then Bitcoin will go up again. Oh, I wish I bought the dip. It'll dip. Oh, they're not going to buy the dip because they're scared. It'll go up again, right? I wish I bought the dip because I'm scared. I wish I bought the dip. I didn't. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You've seen it for the last 10 years on Bitcoin, right? XRP, let's see. So XRP, we broke down from this rising wedge, right? It looks like. Right, we had a pretty clear support coming up here. Looks like we broke down. We actually came back up, retested it as resistance right here. So technically, on all technicals, we should drop to about 50 cents. We should drop to about 50 cents. That is kind of that's just your normal downwards breakout target of a rising wedge, right? And this is typically a bearish pattern coming from the downside, accumulating up. It's just like the coin we just talked about, right? What was it? Chainlink, right? So accumulating up, you broke down. Now, normally your breakdown target is 50 cents. We'll see. It's going to depend on Bitcoin, right? Like I said, Bitcoin can throw all this out the window. But in normal conditions, that's what you would go to. Now, switching on to the daily for XRP, let's get rid of all this. The 20-day exponential moving average, once again, acting as perfect resistance on the way down, right? You just can't get back over that moving average. If you can get back over that moving average, I think we're good to go, right? That would correlate with a lot of other altcoins breaking their moving averages. But right now, I mean, that's kind of what we're watching right now. Let's see. So it seems like the swing level for XRP is right where you got rejected before. I mean, look at this. I mean, your previous high, turn it into support, and now you flipped it as resistance. So you don't want to do that old, turn your old resistance into new support, or old support into new resistance, and that's what you just did, right? So we'll see what happens here. If like I said, if XRP continues down, probably look for a retest of that level we just talked about, which was about 50 cents. So that's really it on XRP, guys. Not much to really talk about there, unfortunately, as time kind of goes on. Let me go through some more of these super chats here. We had Cass say, good day, Jordan. How about VeChain and dots? We did VeChain. Let's check out Polkadot for Cass Boudaire. We are all Satoshi. We are all Satoshi, he says. That's pretty good. Dot. What are we looking at for Dot? Anything really going on here for Mr. Dot? Dot has just been a pretty bad performer since about February, right? It's very similar to Bitcoin. It's been following Bitcoin almost exactly to a T. Down to a T. But, I mean, yeah, you're holding a pretty big support, right? Not perfect, but you can see the general. You're trying to hold this level. That's a pretty important level. You break that level for Dot, I could see a quick move back down to at least 1065, right? Because you really have nothing in between there on the daily. I mean, you look left, I mean, there's nothing there. So you break this 1428 level, that's your next level. And in the upside, it really comes down to breaking this downwards resistance. We've seen other altcoins do it, right? We've seen Ethereum, we've seen Cardano. We've seen a bunch of these altcoins break that resistance. Dot, not even close to it. So the daily, I mean, you're still so far away from that moving average as well, 20-day moving average. You got a lot of work to do. You got a lot of work to do on Dot. Switching to the 4-hour, seems like you just kind of have a big resistance looking left. I mean, you can't break this about 1684 level. Now, the one thing I'll note here with Dot is you do have a possibility of an inverse head and shoulders, but these really haven't been playing out lately, guys. I mean, if Dot can somehow, hold this 1428 level and get some support there, you might have the makings of some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern. But like I said, these haven't really been playing out too well lately. We just saw one on Bitcoin that failed, right? So keep that in mind. But I mean, Dot looks okay. You just don't want to break 1428. You break 1428, like I said, you're moving pretty far down. But it all comes back down to breaking this downwards resistance, right? Just breaking that resistance line, creating some higher lows, higher highs. That's what it comes down to at the moment. So that is really Dot. I mean, not much else to really go over there, to be honest. ETH holding strong at 33K. Oh, hold on. Let me. Johnny said Bond. Please, thank you. Let's check out Bond for Johnny. For Johnny in the chat. What's up with Bond, man? Let's go to the daily. Is this a newer coin? Or just a coin that went on Coinbase recently? Gemini. Okay, so you have some. There's not a lot of price action on this one. At least the charts that I'm looking at the moment. So Bond. Man, it just seems like it keeps pumping and dumping, right? Big pump here. I think a lot of this was probably the Coinbase stuff, right? But yeah, I mean, you keep just pumping to up here to this general level. It's pretty interesting. This is a pretty interesting chart, right? I mean, you pump, you dump, you pump, you dump, pump, dump, and you're going again. So I won't be surprised right here if you come up and retest, upwards of $54. That just seems like kind of the trend here, is you just keep kind of going up and down. Now you're making higher lows, but not else besides that on the daily. I mean, you have the possibility of running into some sort of bearish divergence here on the daily. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If you can't make a higher high here, I think you could run into some bearish divergence, but the daily looks really good on this thing. Daily looks really good. Switch to the 4-hour. I mean, the 4-hour looks really good too. 4-hour looks really good. I mean, you don't have any resistance. I mean, looking left, I guess maybe your first big resistance is probably, it's probably right about here, right? Just looking left at some of this support and resistance levels and where you kind of settled up in the past. I mean, 45.12 is probably where you're going to go to next. I mean, this, like I said, kind of a weird chart here, but doesn't look too bad, man. I mean, and all in all, I like it. I like it a lot. Look for 45.12. Last thing I'll probably look at on this is maybe the fibs. Yeah, so you're right. The one thing I will note is you're right at your golden pocket here, 0.618, 0.65. You're right at that level right now. So that could be a little bit of resistance. I just had a feeling looking at it that you were probably at that level, and you're right at that level now. So watch the 0.618, 0.65 for some resistance in the short term. And if you pull back, maybe you pull back to maybe your 382, which you do have a little bit of a wick here on that. So it's really it on bond, man. Not a ton of price action to go off of. Creighton said, how about DOT and Uni? We looked at DOT. Got plenty of BTC, Ethereum, Cardano, adding to Link and Matic. Have a little DOT, looking to add to my alts. Hey, I mean, it's not a bad time to add to your alts, man. We're getting a little bit of dippage here, and we're just in a range, right? So accumulating in this range is definitely not a bad idea, in my opinion, right? Let's see. It's a DOT and Uni. We can do Uni. Let's do some Uni. Let me get rid of this poll because we did that poll already. We actually did all the coins on that poll, so there really was no point in the poll in the beginning, right? What's Uni doing? Uniswap. Every time I hear Uniswap, I just think of like a unibrow, like someone with a giant like a unicorn with a giant unibrow. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. It's just the word uni just always makes you think of a you know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of a unicorn with an Anthony Davis head with just a unibrow. I don't know why. It's just one of my weird kinks there, but we'll ignore that going forward here. If you guys don't know who Anthony Davis is, he's a basketball player. I don't know if he still has the unibrow, but he used to rock the unibrow. It's kind of like a marketing thing, I think, or he thought it looked good or something. I don't know. But Uniswap, classic rising wedge, which is typically a bearish pattern. We're seeing this from a ton of alts we've already looked at, right? So technically your bearish target would be the bottom of the wedge at 450 for Uni. Hey, is this the Uniswap chart that we don't like? Hold on. Yeah, this is the... Damn, they gotta get rid of this freaking Uniswap chart, man. This is always the Uniswap chart that throws me off. Let me go to Gemini here. But we're going to have the same type of thing. It's going to be the same thing. It's just going to be different prices, right? So, yeah, I mean, classic kind of rising wedge with a breakdown target of about 14 bucks. Every time I see the price, I'm like, wait, this is the wrong chart. But yeah, a breakout target of about 14 bucks. That's kind of what we're looking at here for Uniswap, right? I mean, we've seen this from a lot of different alts. We've seen a lot of alts already break down from these and come up and actually retest it as resistance and then continue down. We've already seen a lot of alts do it. So Uniswap might just be kind of lagging behind the market here a little bit. It did look good originally, right? It did look good of a possible inverse head and shoulders. That one got rejected, though. That one got rejected pretty hard. So looking slightly bearish right now on the 4-hour time frame. On the daily, if we just zoom out here on the daily time frame, you did have classic bullish divergence, but like you just didn't get any impulse from there, right? You can see you got lower lows on that price action, higher lows on the RSI here. It just didn't really pertain to anything, right? So, I mean, Uniswap looking fine. You really just want Bitcoin to continue up, and that's really what you're waiting for here. 20-day moving average, yeah, just resistance. Resistance. It's just holding you down like crazy. You get back over that, you'll be looking good, but it's gonna take Bitcoin having a big impulse to push these alts over that 20-day moving average, which all of them, we've looked at. I don't know how many alts we looked at so far. We looked at, maybe 10 to 15, but they all are getting rejected from this kind of resistance line going forward. So I'll sell all my crypto on the next leg up. Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking that way. I think a lot of people are actually thinking that way, unfortunately. A Stabe. ETH holding strong at 33K. Bitcoin last time it was at 1,800. Now holding 2,100. Yes, the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is starting to move up again, which is good. I think that's when the altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. I think that shows strength in the market. Though right now, I mean, it's kind of dying a little bit, right? The last day or two, but it's just a pullback, right? We've seen this countless times over and over again. I don't want you guys getting too emotional on the dips and the pumps, because if you look at this from a sense, I mean, it's really just down. I mean, we've talked about this verbatim, but I don't know if I'm using that word right, but verbatim. We are just going down, up, down, up, down, up. Why is this trading view? Why are you lagging right now, bro? Why are you lagging right now? But we're really just going up, down, up, down, up, down. And this one, we're not really going up that high, but we're really just oscillating sideways at the end of the day. So make sure you guys just aren't getting too emotional on these dips and these pumps. I mean, as much fun, and I'm going to continue to hype up the pumps as much as possible, because I think when you're really watching the charts every day, I don't want to seem like a moon boy, but you have to get excited on the pumps. Because like I said, what's life without positivity? And getting excited over $500, $1,000 pumps, in reality, we're not really doing much, but you do have to have some excitement over the pumps, or you're just watching the charts to be miserable, right? So that's why we put on the helmet. That's why we play this stuff.
Strap up, we're going to the moon.
Because it's good to be positive. It's good to be positive. And I hate negativity. And sometimes negativity does bother me a little bit, because I'm just not really that type of negative person. So it's good to be positive even during downtrends like we're in right now, right? You got to be positive. What's up, Cass? Thanks, Jordan. Thank you, man. Appreciate the super chat as always. Paul said Luna, please. We can look at Luna. Just like before, weekend is coming. We never pump on the weekends. It's not necessarily true. I think we had a pretty good weekend a couple weekends ago, if I remember correctly. Now, that's just off the top of my head. But usually the weekends I've noticed, usually the weekends are pretty boring, I should say. But what's Luna doing? What is Luna doing? Just stay at any chart below 4 hour possible. Yeah, exactly. Negativity brings negativity. Yes, exactly. 1, 2, 3 resistance on this. So I mean, Luna, in a sense, I think is just kind of coming down like this, right? Just kind of in a downwards channel, and we just keep going up and down, kind of like BTC, just in a downwards movement, right? Just kind of going up and down. So, I mean, if we were to continue the trend, it's likely that we come back down here in the daily and retest the bottom. If you were to continue the trend, it just makes sense. So, the one thing I will say about Luna, though, which you can't say about a lot of different alts, but like I said, if Bitcoin dumps, it's going to change this. You did get back over that 20-day moving average, which we talked about as being big resistance, and you got back over it, and now you're trying to hold it as support. Look where you're trying to hold right now. Like I said, you can't make a lot of this stuff up. I mean, moving averages, not always perfect, but I'm telling you guys, the 20 moving average, make sure you guys are using that on your chart. It does work as a general support resistance area, and does tell you the general momentum of the market. So you're holding that right now as support. You break down below this, I think it's likely you come back down and retest the bottom here. Maybe down to like $4.45, something around that age. You hold this though. And you kind of continue up here. I could see maybe some type of cup and handle, right? If you hold that moving average and you round out, I could see some type of cup and handle really starting to play out here. Now I'll give you guys the upwards target, but just make sure this is only if we kind of come up from where we are right now. If we break down below that moving average, that's going to completely disqualify this. But if we were to break out here, I mean, you could see a move upwards of, you know, $9.01 if you can come up and break out here. But like I said, it's only if you hold your current level and you don't drop too much lower. It's going to invalidate it. So Luna looking pretty good, man. Luna looking pretty good. What's up, Danu? Thanks for subscribing, my guy. Thanks for subscribing. Shay said BTC, please. Shay, we looked at BTC in the beginning of the video. Like I said, I'm going to try to stick to altcoins in the morning streams and then kind of focus on Bitcoin more in the nighttime, just so I don't get too, just so I don't like, because in all honesty, when I talk about Bitcoin in the morning and then in the afternoon, I feel like I'm repeating myself, and it's not as fun to me if I'm kind of looking at, you know, too much at the Bitcoin charts throughout the day, because talking about the same thing twice in a day is not really that exciting for me, right? If it's not exciting for me, it's not exciting for you. So I'm going to save more of the Bitcoin analysis for the kind of the afternoon, right? 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time. Waterfly asking for Adam. I got you, Waterfly. I'll pick a few from the chat here, and then I'll probably call it a morning stream, and we'll kind of go from there, right? So Adam, I think we talked about this last time. It's a falling. You could argue it's a descending triangle. I'd probably say it's more of a descending triangle, if anything. You kind of have a flat line of support with a downwards resistance. So descending triangle, like I said, a lot of these altcoins are either in ascending wedges, which are bearish, or descending triangles, which are bearish. So keep that in mind. Like I said, a lot of this stuff, it could just be the whales painting bearish patterns, you know, for Bitcoin to get its next leg up and, you know, fake everyone out on these bearish patterns. Like, we really don't know what's going on right now. But, you know, this does look a little bearish, right? So keep that in mind. You're running out of some buy pressure here. If you can't break above this resistance, which is kind of correlated to your 20-day moving average, not perfectly, right? You're breaking above it a couple times, but then getting instantly rejected the next candle. So that's what you're struggling with right now. And if Bitcoin continues down, I think it's likely Atom comes back down to retest somewhere around this 847 mark. So keep that in mind. But man, I mean, that's really it on that time frame. On the 4 hour, not really much here. Let's see if you had some bearish divergence. Yeah, you didn't have quite that bearish divergence. You actually got a little bit of a double top there on the 4 hour, right? You try to get above this level, you kind of had a little bit of double top, and now that could be pushing you down. Looks like you're trying to get some support on your 4 hour 20 EMA. If you can't hold that as support, I probably see a likely move back down here, just because you don't have a ton of support, right? I mean, you're at a big support right now. You breaking this level of support is, I can see it. You have support here, support here. You break that level of support, it's likely you continue down. So we'll see what happens for Atom, but slightly bearish on Atom right now. We are in July 2017. Yeah, like I said, I don't think this bull market's over, in my opinion. I don't think the bull market's over. Now, we don't know when we're going to continue back up. Like I said, we could be going sideways for another couple weeks. We could even drop a little bit lower than we are now. You guys know my stance. I don't think this bull market's over. I think we're going to continue this bull market, you know, towards the end of this year, towards the beginning of next year. And we're really going to have that second peak, right? That's what I think is going to happen here. I'm not going to flip long-term bearish. I'm just not. It's just too much from the fundamental side of it. I'm not a huge fundamentals guy. I don't talk a lot about fundamentals, but I do watch a lot of content on fundamentals, and the fundamentals haven't been better, right? So we talked about that a little bit earlier in the stream, but fundamentals just continue to be extremely bullish. Now, there's obviously bearish FUD, the China stuff, all that fun stuff too. But you look at where we've came just from a year ago, it's insane. It's insane. We have MicroStrategies, Tesla buying Bitcoin. We have a country accepting Bitcoin as legal tender. We have 2 other countries in legislation to have Bitcoin as legal tender. That should be passed relatively soon if they pass. So, I mean, it just, the hits keep on coming from the bullish side. But as we know, the hits will keep on coming from the bearish side over and over and over again. So I'm excited to see what happens for the rest of this year. I think we'll get some type of big news that'll propel us to the upside relatively soon. Now, what that news will be, who knows? It all depends on when the whales decide to push us back up to the upside. You should collaborate with Tyler S on stream. Yeah, man. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd love to do a collaboration with anyone, right? I wanted to do a collaboration with Ben. That didn't work out. I wanted to do a collaboration with George. That didn't work out. Tyler S would be pretty cool. Really anyone, right? Anyone would be pretty cool. I know Tom Crone wanted to do something with me. I still gotta see. This is what I mean. Like, it's tough to get in touch with a lot of people. Like, Tom wanted to do a collaboration with me. He was actually on BitBoy stream the other day on the Around the Blockchain. I got to get back to him, right? Sometimes life happens. You just kind of forget about a lot of that stuff. Tyler S doesn't collab. Yeah. Jazz. I'm too busy at McDubs. I am too busy at McDubs, man. I've been spending a lot of time over there. So, like, unfortunately, people ask me to go on their streams, and I have to work my shift. I cannot call out at McDubs, man. It's really, really important to me right now. If I lose that job at McDubs, I'm screwed. I'm gonna have to sell my computer. I'm not gonna be able to stream anymore. Because at the end of the day, I have to afford food. And I have to afford my Speedway coffee, right? You guys already know I had to ditch Dunkin' Donuts to save $2 a day on my morning coffee. So times are tough, man. Times are tough. What's up with Bitcoin? Yeah, Bitcoin's just chilling right now, guys. Bitcoin's just chilling right now. I mean, the only thing that's a little bearish on the 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin is, your old support has now flipped as new resistance. So that's what you don't want to see. That's bearish structure in the short term, but we'll see. I mean, we talked about that head and shoulders pattern yesterday, and it looks like we did break that to the downside, right? So we were talking about the possibility of that. My target here is 32,400. I think it's likely we come back down and test that area. Maybe Bitcoin surprises us out of nowhere and just pumps, right? I mean, we've seen it in the past. But just based on what this looks like, I think a retest of this level just makes a whole lot of sense right now. So we'll wait and see. We'll talk about that in tonight's stream, and we'll have a good one there, right? I need a sugar mama. I take a sugar mama. There's not a lot of sugar mamas out there, Well, I'm sure there is sugar mamas out there. The only problem, it's hard to find a sugar mama, right? Because I bet you can probably find some cougar. You can probably find some cougar or something that has some money, but would I want to sell my soul to a cougar for a sugar mama? I don't know if I would want to do that. I mean, sounds a little depressing. I don't know. But, if it was some young cougar sugar mama, right, 29, 28, 29, 30 years old, hey, I'd take that sugar mama all day. But not any old sugar mamas. I need a sugar daddy. Oh, man. Thanks, Gary, dude. Appreciate it. I used to... Oh, God. Richard, don't be saying that on YouTube, my guy. Sugar daddy. Find a cat lady that drinks box wine. You would totally sell your soul to a hot cougar. If it was a hot cougar, that's the thing. If it's a hot cougar, I would sell my soul because she's still hot, right? I wouldn't sell my soul to some ugly, some ugly cougar. Now, like I said, looks aren't everything, but I've always said you have to be somewhat attractive to the person you're with. I don't think I could be I don't think I could be with someone even if they were their sugar mama, if I wasn't attracted to them physically, right? I just don't think I could. A lot of people will say, well, looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything. They're a big proponent of it, right? I mean, if you're saying looks aren't important, I think that's a little bit false. That's a little bit false. But Fox wine, the boobs would mush. Do a poll, cougar age. A cougar age. That's too funny, man. Stacy's mom has got it going on. Stacy. It's a good song, man. If you took the class, I'd hire Jordan for my company. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. A vote for 95. All right, guys. We've looked at hold on, we got one more super chat here. Marcus, what's up, Marcus? He said, any chance you see Tether getting out of this mess they're in? Yes. It seems like a lot of these things get out of the mess they're in. I mean, just look at XRP. A lot of these companies and a lot of these things get out of their messes. So I think it's possible they get out of it, but obviously time will tell. Time will tell. So, I'm runner-up for Sugar Mama. I'll buy you a babe. I have a thing for cougars. George is your daddy. Jordan, you're one of the few YouTube guys who actually turned up today. All the rest are completely wrong on their pump talk and hiding now. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being wrong, man. Like I've always said, like it's sometimes like I joke about other YouTubers and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, guys, we're all doing what we do. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. I'm not always right? As much as people, I love the kind words saying, oh, Jordan, thank you for being honest and stuff like that, but no one's always right. I'm wrong all the freaking time. And we're not so much up here to be right and wrong. We're more up here to just analyze the charts and, look and hang out with you guys. Like I'm here most of the time just to hang out with a lot of you guys. Because you guys know, most of the time on streams, probably I only really talk about the charts 50% of the stream. The other 50%, I'm just kind of shooting the crap, right? Because that's what I generally like doing. I like just hanging out with you guys. So always remember that not everyone's always right. People are wrong all the freaking time. Never take what someone says on YouTube as clear advice, right? I always recommend like you watching YouTube stuff for slight educational purposes, but make sure you guys watching YouTube with, more for entertainment purposes, right? Watch it for entertainment purposes. I mean, there's a lot of good info on YouTube, but most of it is entertainment, right? VeChain is my biggest bag. What do you think about VTHO? If VeChain moons, then wouldn't VTHO pump? Peyton is the GOAT. No questions, please. Yeah, man. If VeChain continues up, VTHO will too. VTHO, that's the nature of the beast. That's the absolute nature of the beast. So I'm not going to go through much on that. If you see VeChain perform, VTHO will too. Excuse me. Holy crap, man. Sorry, guys. That was completely unprofessional. Wow. Man. That's that's brutal. Educational. YouTube replaced TV. Yeah, dude, I don't even watch TV. I can't remember the last time I watched TV. The last time I watched TV was like, man, it has to be a couple of years. Like I literally only watch YouTube and I watch sports, right? Not on TV. So I that's really all I watch now, to be honest. Yeah, exactly, Alex, man. I mean, we're mostly here just to give like point of views and entertainment, but at the end of the day, you got to develop your own idea. Metaculus. I mean, somewhat, man. I agree with your comments there. All right, guys. I don't think there's much else to really talk about here. I mean, we talked about a good amount of alts today. Like I said, I want to keep these morning streams shorter. So, like I said, I'm not streaming 5 hours a day, right? Because if I stream 5 hours a day, it's gonna get a little monotonous as always. But I try to come alive as much as I can, and because I generally like looking at the charts. But today I got to make the Patreon video. I got to hop off here, make the Patreon newsletter. If you guys want to join the Patreon, you guys want to check out my newsletter, make sure you guys go check it out. This week's will probably be a little bit shorter for all the Patreons out there. It'll be a little bit shorter this week just because there's not much has really changed since last week. I look at more long-term analysis on my Patreon newsletter videos. So if you guys want to check that out, links in the description. You guys can check it out if you'd like to. No pressure or anything. It's just if you want some more and different content from me. But other than that, guys, if you guys can leave a like before you go, subscribe before you go, and show us your father-in-law, bro. Oh, I got you, man. I got you. I'll do my father-in-law. Here you go, man. There's my father-in-law, Vitalik, guys. He's picking his nose, and he's look at him. I mean, how can you not love this guy? He treats me so well, even though I a lot of times I don't treat his daughter the nicest, but he treats me like a son. Look at him. I mean, I'm that booger right there. And, he keeps me right next to him, right on the wall. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys in tonight's stream, 7 to 10 Eastern Standard Time, as always. Make sure you guys have a good day, as always, right? Make sure you guys have a positive day. Don't stare at the charts all day. And, don't panic sell your crypto, right? Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And most of all, what do we always say? Do not panic sell. Yo crypto. All right. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll catch you guys tonight. All right. Peace.